Good morning students, how are you? I'm Francis sir and today I'm back with standard 7 physics. Okay, so the previous day we did discuss about this chapter motion and time, and this is the second part of the video. Okay, so the previous day we did discuss about time. Yes, we discussed about time. Today we will be discussing about motion. So when we talk of motion, what is motion? Motion is actually the changing in the place. What? Change in the place of an object with change in time. Okay, this is what is called a motion. Motion can be defined as an activity in which the position or location of an object changes as the time changes. For example, let there be an object at point A, and what happens after t time it reaches to another point B. So this movement of an object from point A to point B is called motion. Now, obviously, what might have happened that this t time, yes, t time has been taken for this movement from A to B. So let this t time be, let us say 5 hours. 5 hours. Let this movement from A to B be 5 hours, and let the distance between A to B will be let us say 40 kilometers. What? 40 kilometers. So an object moved 40 kilometers in a time of what? 1 hour, 5 hours. So it might be that it might have moved certain distance in first hour, and a certain distance in the second hour, and a certain distance in the third hour, and a certain distance in the fourth hour, and as well as in the fifth hour. So this whole motion from A to B, it might have been divided into 5 parts. How many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 parts. And each part having traveled in 1 hour each. Each part having traveled in 1 hour each. So this distance, which is being travelled by the object in 1 hour, this 1 hour time, the amount of distance it travels in 1 hour. 1 hour is what? 1 hour is your unit time. What is it? Unit time. So this distance, what? Distance traveled in unit time. Distance traveled in unit time. Yes. So you might have seen that. So a certain amount of distance. Let this be P. Let this point be P. So and the person moved from A to P in 1 hour. Move away from A to B in 1 hour. So there was a certain amount of distance traveled in a unit time. What is the unit time? Unit time is 1 hour. So this distance traveled in 1 unit time is called speed. What is called speed? So what is the speed? You can tell that speed is called the rate of distance traveled per unit time, or simply distance traveled per unit time. Distance traveled in unit time or per unit time. It is called your speed. So it can be that in the first hour, let the distance traveled be, let us say 8 kilometers, and in another hour let it be again 8 kilometers, in another next hour, third hour, let it be 8 kilometers, and another, let let this be 8 and let it be 8 in the fifth hour also. So as a whole you can say 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, total it is 40 kilometers. 8 5 so 40. So equal distances, what we can see is here that equal distance is traveled in each unit time. So in each unit time, equal distances are traveled. 8 kilometer traveled in 1 hour, again 8 kilometer traveled in 1 hour, again 8 kilometer traveled in 1 hour, and again 8 kilometer traveled in 1 hour. So this type of motion, when equal distances are traveled in each unit time, this type of motion are called what? They are called uniform motion. What? Uniform motion. Equal distances traveled in equal interval of time or each unit time is called uniform motion. But if the condition would have been that, let there be this be again 40 kilometers distance. Yes, this is point A, this is point B, and let T is equal to how much? 5 hours. If the time taken in the first distance travel in the first hour, it is, let us say, 10 kilometers. How much? 10 kilometers. Then in the second hour, let it be 5 kilometers. In the third one, let it be 8 kilometers. And in the fifth hour, let it be 7 kilometers. And in the fifth hour again, it is again 10 kilometers. You see that overall distance traveled is again 10 plus 5, 15 kilometers, 15 plus 8. 15 plus 8, 23, 23 plus 7, 30 kilometers, and then again we have 10 kilometers. So overall it is 40 kilometers. But you can see that in each hour the distance traveled was not same. So in this case, distance traveled is not uniform in each unit time. In each unit time, the distance traveled is not uniform. That means different distances are traveled in equal interval of time. So in that case, this type of motion is called non-uniform motion. What it is called? Non-uniform motion. So in practically, we generally don't see this uniform motion. We are not able to see this uniform motion. Okay, but yes, in practically we generally come across non-uniform motion only. For example, when you are riding a bicycle on a road, you start from your home. Okay, you start from your home. When you start, your speed is 0. You start from rest. So at that time, your speed is 0. But as you start to ride your bicycle, what happens? Slowly, what happens? You start to increase your speed. But you can't keep that increased speed uniformly at the same speed. Why? Because when you are at the road, some people come, sometimes animal come, sometimes dogs come, sometimes a child comes in the road. You need to put on brakes. Sometimes on a way you might see some shop. You might be willing to buy something, staying at the shop. So before reaching to the destination, you stop at the shop. So what happens is that your this journey is not uniform. The distance traveled by you or the speed at which you go, it is not. Sometimes it is 10 km per hour, sometimes it is 2 km per hour, sometimes you are at 0 km per hour. So you have always the variable speed. What you have? The variable speed. So in that case, when we have variable speed, in that case we come across different thing, some new thing, we will be talking about a new thing, okay? And this new thing is called your average speed. Average speed. I will give you one example. For example, you are going in a bus. Bus moves from, you might be going to Bhagalpur, let us say. This is Godda, okay? And this is your Bhagalpur. B-H-A-G-A-L-P-R. Yes, Bhagalpur, What is the distance? 67 kilometers as on the board. You see, distance on the road, you can see that it is 67 kilometers. But when you travel by the bus, if you might be seeing the speedometer of the bus, it reads 60 kilometers per hour, sometimes 70 kilometers per hour, sometimes 40 kilometers per hour. And with this speed also, what happened? It takes almost 2 hours to reach Bhagalpur. Sometimes maybe 1.5 hours and sometimes 3 hours also. This time is different. So let us consider that your friend is here in Bhagalpur A. Let your friend be, let us say, Sonu. Okay, Sonu is your friend. He gave you a call that if you are Rahul, let us say that you are Rahul. Okay, you are Rahul. So Sonu called Rahul that come to Bhagalpur. Okay, Sonu is in Bhagalpur. So when he set from Godda, it was maybe 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, AM in the morning. So he said, okay. Then Sonu was waiting here at Bhagalpur. So while he was waiting, it almost maybe 12 o'clock. Rahul reached in Bhagalpur where Sonu was there at 12 o'clock. Okay. So what was the time difference? So it is on how much? 3 hours. How much? 3 hours. So what did Sonu ask? Why you came so late? Or were you coming very slowly? So what was the question of Sonu? Were you coming slowly? Rahul replied, no, my vehicle was moving at 70 kilometers per hour. But why did he come so late? It was because he came across a jam. Jam, means there is so many vehicles in the way. Yes, so that was a road jam. What was that? ROAD, road jam. Then Sonu said, no, you came out late. तुम झूठ बोल रहा था ना, you came out late. You did not started at 9, you started at maybe 10. Sonu complained. But Rahul was telling the truth. But what was the problem here? The problem was that though he was telling that his speed was 70 kilometers per hour, for Sonu, what was the speed? 67 divided by 3. Speed is equal to distance by time. Speed is equal to distance by time. So for Sonu, what was the speed? So it is how much? Almost 22 kilometers per hour. 22 kilometers per hour. So this is 70 kilometers per hour. That is different. And this is the overall speed. So what Sonu sees, this speed, it is called your average speed. What it is called? Average speed. Average speed can be considered